Hey guys, for 101, and today I'm going to be presenting 4 map previews from my friends' maps. So none of these maps are mine, these are all my friends' maps, and the first one is Centennial by Lex. And this is a big team battle map with some light vehicles such as warthogs, mongooses, and ghosts. It is a very simple type layout where you have the outer vehicle route with various different types of forerunner structures and cover and such, and then you have an inner honeycomb type rocky kind of infantry route. The layout reminds me of Exile, and I know it probably burns everyone. They're probably just like, I would rather have someone walk up to my house, rape me 7 times, and then kill me before I play Exile again. But believe me, this is like Exile if Certain Affinity actually knew what they were doing. And so this is actually, it's a really good map, it's really fun. These are all gameplay previews, so none of these maps are probably going to be on file shares, and they're all still probably subject to lots of change. But nonetheless, some of these maps, these maps will vary in different states of completion. I know that one map is basically non-playable at the moment that I'll be showing here, but the reason I show it is just because I see great potential in it and stuff. As well as in this video, I'm going to be talking about some of my overall impressions of Forge Island so far. So Forge Island, I really like Forge Island. A lot of forgers are kind of pissed off with it, and I'm actually really pleased with it. And one of the things that I like about Forge Island is that, well, this is actually more something about Reach and what happened in Reach. Basically, when Forge World came out, and everyone in Reach was just like, yeah, Forge World, but I want Sandbox back. And they're just like, I want a very large, super flat area. And we never got that in Reach, which was kind of disappointing. And by the end of it, by the end of Reach, I think everyone kind of adjusted. But this is, to me, like Sandbox and Forge World combined, which are single-handedly my 2 favorite maps ever. Now, I understand that some people are going to be kind of pissed off about how flat it is and how, like, super flat and how they kind of went overboard. But I honestly think that if good forgers will be able to make some awesome map variants, and I apologize, there's a little bit of lag, but it goes away after a few seconds. So this map uses my competitive game variant, where you start out with Battle Rifle and Magnum. Originally I was going to say Assault Rifle, but I'm actually starting to agree with Lex and the other guys that I'm probably going to switch over to Magnum. But anyways, that has been Centennial by Lex, and let's move on to the next map, which is also made by Lex. So this is Begotten by Lex, and this is a flood map. Now this is a very nice flood map. I really like the feel of it, and it was inspired by what's that game called? Far Cry 3. And Far Cry 3, if anyone has played it, you'll be able to see the Far Cry 3-ness. I've watched gameplay of it, so I know kind of what it looks like, and I get the resemblance. But to be honest with you, I think this looks a little bit more like something out of DayZ. I'm not sure if there's any DayZ fans out here, but I'm going to start a petition to start calling this map, for Lex to change the name to Cherno or Chernogorsk. It's just kind of like a little inside joke. I keep on bugging about it, and he's just like, no, it's supposed to be like Far Cry. I'm just like, but it looks like Cherno. And, but yeah, this is a really nice free roam holdout-ish flood map. It's interesting because you can kind of play how you want. Me and my friends, we play it like a holdout map where we scavenge weapons, and then we go to this church building, and we all hold out in the church. And it's funny that I mentioned the whole Cherno thing, and this church layout is almost the exact same as the churches that are in DayZ. So I just noticed that now when I'm looking at this from the gameplay. But we're about to get swarmed, about to get destroyed, and yeah, we don't last too long in this game. But I'm gonna switch over to a more overview in just a second. So anyways, going back into some of my impressions about about Forge Island. Some people are going to complain about it being flat. It's a combination of Sandbox and Forge World. I really like it. I really like the aesthetic theme, and I really like how I can build forerunner structures again, and they actually look legitimate now. Before you could attempt, and it didn't really look good. I loved how they dumbed down on some of the, and dumbed down in a good way, don't worry. I love how they kind of dumbed down on the piece detail. That was one of my big complaints before. I even went through a phase where I just wouldn't forge because I just couldn't stand how detailed the pieces were. It looked nasty. It didn't flow nicely together. And I really like how Forge Island kind of took that to the new level. I thought that was really great. Some more plain textures. I apologize there. We had a black screen session, so I had to split the overview into 2 different little sections. But you guys have pretty much seen the map anyways, and this overview is not going to last much longer. And soon we're going to get to the next map. But I really like the aesthetic features. Me and my friends were working on a lot of Forerunner-based big team battle maps. You're going to be seeing that a lot in some upcoming features, and even in this preview video. So now I'm going to move on to the next map. This is going to be Landslip. I'm not sure if it's a typo for Landslide by Ski Brothers, which is one of my favorite forgers of all time, hands down. But this is a Avalanche remake that's maybe 10 to 15% scaled down. This map, however, has a lot of wrinkles we still need to iron out. There was a lot of problems during testing, but I figured I might show it anyways because I think it has a lot of potential in its design and its layout. I just think that right now it's a little bit too close to Halo 3, and it hasn't adjusted fully to the Halo 4 sandbox and how things work. I mean, like the battle rifle, it can shoot a lot longer ranges than the Halo 3 version could, and that provides some interesting kind of battles, and it provides some kind of, I don't know, some kind of long sight line, no cover, nowhere to run gameplay as of now. So, Ski is going to be working on that. And I gave him a little bit of help, but I'm not going to take any credit for the work I did. I didn't do very much. I maybe put down a little bit of the base layout, so don't give me any credit for this. This is definitely Ski's work, and I really love this map in Halo 3. This is my first big team battle map I ever played in Halo 3, so there's lots of nostalgia related to it. But yeah, Ski still got to adjust it to the Halo 4 sandbox, and I'll see if I can help him do that too. Part of it's my fault because I was kind of emphasizing the Halo 3 gameplay, and I'm pretty bad for that. I'm always just like, Halo 3, everything's gotta be like Halo 3 is amazing. And some people don't like that, and I have a hard time adjusting to the Halo 4 sandbox, and that's just part of my own stupidity, and I'm getting over it, don't worry. But yeah, I think this map is really good for what I was saying before, how it has that Forerunner theme to it. It doesn't necessarily look like, every piece says UNSC on the side of it. It actually looks Forerunner. I love the new textures. I love how the textures blend in. I love how the rocks, especially, the rock texture, unlike the other maps, the rock texture really blends in with the ground. I guess Impact does too, but I think this even more than Impact. The rock textures really mesh well with the natural terrain. Like, if you guys saw my standoff map when people first saw that, they thought that was pre-generated terrain, so yeah. Anyways, moving on to the next map. This is the last one. This is Ghost something or other. I'm not sure the full name, and it's made by Spider-Man CY612. So this is a map that was inspired by Ghost Town, so that's why the name is something around Ghost something or other. And I really like the layout, and I really like how it got away from the flatness of lots of Forge Island maps, which I actually like the flatness. I think it goes back to the kind of standard BTB Halo style, and I find that a lot of forgers are kind of conforming to the ideals of certain Affinity's map design when it comes to like things like Vortex and Meltdown and stuff like that, where it has lots of height variation and stuff like that. And height variation is good, but on a big team battle map, I don't know, just maybe my own personal things, I prefer it when it's maybe 2 levels, or when it's just 2 or 3 levels tops. And I don't know, I don't like a lot of big team battle maps. I don't know why I'm talking about big team battle. This is not a big team battle map. This is a 4v4, maybe 5v5 Slayer map. And this also uses my competitive Slayer game type settings, so I really want to stress that enough. If you guys want a more balanced kind of version of Slayer without constant power weapons and incineration cannons and random shenanigans and more kind of classic mix with Halo 4, then I would definitely recommend downloading my my competitive game type settings. They'll be on my file share. Me and my friends, we really enjoy. It's growing in popularity. It's growing really quickly in popularity. I've got a lot of forgers that are starting to build for this game mode, and in my next monthly contest is going to be like that too. Anyways, back to my last few impressions of Forge Island. I really like the rocks, the new rock pieces that they get. However, I wish they gave us maybe 20 more natural pieces, and I wish that some of the pieces that have been moved into the building sections weren't necessarily moved into the building section. I don't mind some of the rocks per se, because then we have more rocks we can use overall. Then we have 70 instead of 50. But it's things like the window coliseum, the walkway large, the circle ramp small, and large as well. I just find that those things should have just been stuck in their initial categories. I don't care if I've got to battle with frame rate and disco lag and stuff like that again, because honestly, I can manage it. I think lots of forgers can manage it, and lots of tutorials are out that can help you manage it. And I just wish that those weren't necessarily in the in that section. I also think they should have given us maybe 20 more naturals, just because they have trees now, and people like to use lots of trees and stuff like that. and you have to kind of take out of your rock stash in order to get at those natural pieces. And also just because the land is so flat that if we wanted to create natural terrain, we can with the current pieces, but it's just we'll run out of them very quickly. So I just wish that we had a couple more naturals. And overall, the 3 islands, I wish that had a bit of separation that weren't all just flat. But to be honest with you guys, I'm happy. Don't complain too much. 343, I think they did something right here by giving us this. Anyways, that's going to be it for these map previews. Hope you guys enjoy, and see you guys next time.